This video is 12-3 Form G. It is numbers 6, 9, I believe 14, and 16. Alright, so for number 6, we'll start there. There's a theorem that said, the opposite angle, if a quadrilateral is inscribed in a circle, the opposite angles are supplementary. So if we just start really with angle A, opposite of angle A is 108. So if you take 180 and subtract 108 from it, you know that angle A is 72 degrees. I'm going to do the exact same thing for angle B. Opposite of angle B is 92 degrees, so 180. Subtract from it your 92, and angle B is 88 degrees. Now, C and D are where it gets kind of tricky. What I did was I looked at the fact that the angle that is 108, if I trace that angle, it creates an arc that starts here and wraps all the way around to here. So it encompasses arc C and 114 degrees. So what I did was I took 108 times 2, and that gave me 216, and then I'm just going to remove out the part that I don't want. So 216 minus 114 left me with arc C being 102 degrees. And then to find D, I'm going to kind of do the exact same thing. The angle B is the angle that encompasses D, but it also has what we now know of arc C. So I'm going to double 88. So if I take 88 and times 2, because again that's a theorem that says an inscribed angle is half the measurement of the arc. So I'm working backwards. I need to double the angle to get the measurement of the arc. So 88 times 2, okay, that will give me 176. And then subtract from it your 102, and that gives you your 74 degrees for arc D. Okay? Number 9, I know the first one I started in alphabetical order of the letters. You don't have to do that. As I look at this right away, I remember that whenever a diameter is created, the inscribed angle off that diameter is 90 degrees. So I know B right away is 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to put that 90 degree mark there. Maybe that'll help me out in some other problems. Maybe it won't. I just saw that first, so that's kind of where I started. I also see that arc A is created by this angle here that is 39 degrees. Well, if I double 39, that gives me 78 degrees there. The only thing left to do is to find angle C. Well, angle C is creating this arc here. Now, unfortunately, I don't know any information about the angle or the arc, so I can't double or half anything, but this is a diameter, which tells me from here to here is 180 degrees. It's also telling me that from this arc, or from that intersection rather, to this point is 50 degrees. So if I take 180 and remove from it 50, I'm left with 130 degrees from this point to this point, which is the exact arc that creates angle C. So divide your 130 by 2, and you get your answer there of 65 degrees for angle C. Number 14. So again, 14, where would I start? Well, I look at this and I just see right away that angle, or that arc measurement is 56, and that's creating the angle that is B. So if I just take 1/2 of 56, I know that's 28 degrees. Okay. Okay, so again, I've got, probably black was the worst choice here. This is a diameter. Okay, I know that because it does pass through the center. Right, it shows me that right here. And I know that from here to here is 112. Well, if I take 180, because there's 180 degrees in a semicircle, so if I take 180 and subtract from it 112, I get 68 degrees from this point to this point. Okay, well, if I cut 68 in half, that gives me the measurement of angle A, which is 34 degrees. All right, and then for C, if I can find this angle or this arc measurement, which I can take 112, 68, and 56. I can add those all up and subtract it from 360 because there's 360 degrees in a whole circle. Okay, that leaves me with 124 degrees. Cut that in half because this angle is half of that arc measurement. That tells me that 124 times a half is 62 degrees. Okay? And then lastly, for number 16, right away, I know that the angle that is comprised of both angle A and angle B is 90. That's going to help me out here in a minute. But I'm also going to start looking for things that I can cut in half. Well, right off the bat, this angle creates the arc that's 110 degrees. So I know that B is 55 degrees. If this whole angle is 90, 55 minus 90 tells me A is 35 degrees. Okay? Even easier. Again, I've got a semicircle here. So if this whole thing is 180, from here to here is 110. That tells me D is 70. And then I can find angle E no problem because angle E is creating this arc here, which is 76 degrees. So take half of 76, and angle E is 38 degrees. And then lastly, to find angle C, again, there's 360 degrees inside of an entire, or around an entire circle. Subtract from it this, this, and this, and that leaves you with 104. So this arc is 104 degrees, and then take half of that to get C as 52. All right, any other questions? Shoot me an email.